everyone, and welcome to the Best Day Ever Crafting Podcast. This is a podcast about my making journey and celebrating with you all the reasons why crafting every day makes for the best day ever. My name is Trish, and I can be found on Instagram and Ravelry as Tie-Dye Diva. You can also find me at my sticker and stationery shop, which is thefibertree.com. And I will leave a link to all of those locations in the description box below. So welcome everyone. And if this is your very first time here, an extra special welcome to you. So on today's agenda, we don't have a lot of admin to discuss, except to let you know that if you want a prize, it has been in the mail for quite a while, so you probably have it by now. I'm still waiting to hear back from one other winner. So, but we're all caught up with prizes, which is great. So I would like to host my very first make along for 2022, and I'm calling it a vest along. So basically, for the entire months of March and April, we will be making vests. They can be knit, they can be crocheted, they can be sewn, quilted, whatever is your craft. I've just been finding a lot of really cute knitting and crochet patterns for vests, and I want to make a vest, and I want you all to join me in doing that. So if that's something that interests you, I hope you will definitely join in. I'm going to create a separate thread in the Ravelry group. And I'm also going to create a bundle of patterns, if I can remember how to do that. But I believe there's a way to create a bundle of patterns and then post it to the group. So I'll be working on that this weekend and early next week. And I'll post probably on Instagram too when it's up and available for viewing. Of course, there will be prizes, so we'll talk more about that later. But basically, you have a couple of weeks to get ready for the first make along for 2022, which again is a vest along. So I hope you guys are excited about that as I am. If this is your first time making a sweater, I think a vest is a really good route to go because usually there are no sleeves. Less of a time commitment and yarn commitment. So lots of good positives about vests. They're you can layer them, put things over them, wear things under them. Just a lot of options that you have. And if you have any suggestions for patterns, then feel free to send them to me on Ravelry. Put them in the group chat, and I will add them to the bundle as well. So let's get into the meat of the podcast. I don't have any finished objects this time around, but I do have a couple of whips, a couple of new whips, and some progress on some existing whips. So let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is the progress I've made on my vanilla beanie DK. As you can see, it's a really simple knitted pattern. It's slouchy. There's no ribbing for the brim, which I really like. I just love that clean look. So this is a pattern by the Knitting Loft, and specifically the designer's name is Bruna Curtosi. The Knitting Loft is a yarn shop out of Toronto, Canada. So the yarns that I'm using are both from 29 Bridges. This is their plump sock, and the color is Harbor. This is their lace, which is made of mohair and silk. So I just combine these together, and this is the beautiful fabric that I'm getting. Both of these are beautiful colors on their own, but when you combine them, you get something really special. So I believe I'm at the point now where I can start my decreases. I believe you knit for 7 inches before the decreases, and I do believe the decreases are very simple. And then I would definitely wet block this because I want to take as much of this roll out as I can. Keep this from rolling. I want it to look just like the pattern looks, nice and smooth, and I think a nice wet block would do that really well. And I might knit just a little bit more before I start my decreases, just to ensure that it's super slouchy. You can even see the yellows and the greens coming through on that. So hopefully the next time you see me, I will have this finished. I just turned on my fan. It is almost 60 degrees in Maryland today. Just wacky weather. It's lovely, but it's not supposed to be this warm. I actually wanted to wear a sweater on the podcast today. But that's impossible in 60-degree weather. So, all right, so next up is the progress I've made on the Hillview Road Cowl. This is the Hillview Road Cowl by Holly Adams Samet. And as you can see, it's just a really beautiful stitch pattern. The way the pattern is written, the stitches end up on a diagonal, which is really, really pretty. And there you can see all that lovely texture there on the pattern. And you've got some ribbing to start and end with. And it's knit using an Aran weight, so it goes really, really quickly. I really thought I would have been finished this by now, but I got sidetracked by other things, which we'll talk about shortly. So here's the progress I have thus far on the Hillview Road Cowl. I think I got a couple of inches since the last time I showed this to you. And again, I definitely hope to have this done by the next recording. Cowls are just so wonderful because even on days that are not necessarily cold, but chilly, sometimes our home gets really drafty, and a cowl is like just the perfect thing to put around your neck to just give you a little bit of cozy and to warm you up a little bit. So this one will probably, it's definitely not going to be in the gift basket. This one is definitely for me. So the yarn that I used is from Traveling Yarn. This is their Aran base. And what do they call their Aran base? They call it so it's their light Aran base. It's 203 yards, 115 grams, and it is a 100% superwash merino, and the color is garnet. It's showing up pretty good. Maybe not as red, definitely more of like a rosy pink. Really, really enjoying knitting this on a US 10 6mm needle, so it goes really, really quick when you work on it. So almost done with that. Again, hope to have that finished by the time I record again. What's next? Okay, so now I can talk about the 2 new whips that I started since the last time we talked. And here it is in my little basket here, which the basket is really too small for this. So I'm gonna have to come up with another solution unless I take the yarns out. I could take the yarns out and then I'd have more room for the project. So basically I am doing the Moogly crochet. It's the crochet along for 2022, which is a blanket. So what happens is you get, I believe it's 2 squares a month, or is it 1 square a month? I'm gonna leave a link so you'll know, but you get a certain amount of squares every month, and then so by the end of the year you have a finished Afghan. You have an option to skip a square if you don't like it, or maybe it's just too complicated for your skill level. You can skip a square. You can make multiples of squares you really, really like. You can add in some of your own favorite squares. So what is it? We're into almost mid-February, and 3 squares have been released thus far. They're all from different designers. So yeah, it must be 2 squares a month, 2 different squares a month. So the first square is this one here. Let's see, try to open this up so you can really see it good. And if this, as I see, if I didn't say, this is crochet, as you can see here. It starts in the center, and then you've got some interesting texture going on here. I think she calls these raised stitches. Honestly, I didn't enjoy doing those. It's a really, it's different. Let's just say that it's really different, but it's really, really pretty. I was telling my friend Stacy, who is also doing the make along, how much I didn't enjoy them, but I want to make another one of these because I really do think that this square is really pretty, and then that raised stitch is also repeated here, and I think there's supposed to be another section of raised stitch for a total of 3. But I will probably only have the 2 sections of raised stitch on this particular square. The squares are supposed to be 12 inches, although they can be whatever size you want them to be. But I'm gonna just keep going around and around in a single crochet and just increasing in the corners until this gets to be 12 inches. And it's definitely gonna benefit from some blocking because it's a bit wonky in certain spaces, but I'm really proud of myself for taking this leap. I'm gonna learn a lot. I've already learned a whole lot about crochet since doing this. I've also learned that I need to follow instructions better. So that was square number 1. So the second pattern, the second square that came out was this one. So as you can see, it's this one also started in the center, and then you did these petals here, which were really fun to do once I wrapped my brain around how to do them. And I really like how the center is kind of offset, so at a certain point you're not going around the entire square, you're only going around 3 of the sides. So that's how you get that effect, and I really, really love this square. I will not be repeating this square because I don't want to do these again. I enjoy doing them, unlike the raised stitch on the other one, but I don't want to do it again. So I don't think I'm going to repeat this square. So that, as you can see, my color scheme is browns and oranges and blues. I didn't think about this, but my friend told me it definitely has like a southwestern look to it, so we're going to go with that. And I'm just using scraps from different projects, DK weights, worsted weights, light worsted, and again, I'm just so excited and proud of myself for taking on this challenge. So we're only in the month of February, so you definitely have time to join in, especially if you're a more experienced crocheter. You'll get through these in no time. And it'd be nice to have some company too. And if enough of us get going on it, I'll create a thread in the Ravelry group. So again, that is square number 2. This one also needs to be larger to get to 12 inches. So hopefully I'll get these done this weekend and start on square number 3. So again, that's the Moogly Crochet Along for 2022. And here are my basket of remnants, leftovers from other projects, and I will be adding more from my stash as needed in this color scheme. I think it's really, really pretty. Okay, so the other whip that I started, the other project I started, I am making the eyeball shawl by Stephen West. You know, something else we didn't chat about is my new setup. So remember, I used to have the orange wall, the reddish orange wall behind me, and I changed my craft room around because this is also the place where I fulfill orders for the shop, and it wasn't working for me because I had the printer on one side of the room, the Cricut machine on one side of the room, the desk on another side of the room. So I was always going back and forth. So now everything is right here in front of me, and I don't have to move around as much. So that works out really, really well. And I think we get a little bit, even though we're not facing the light, because the white wall is behind me, I think it's just better for the lighting. So let me know what you think. Okay, back to knitting. Okay, so I am doing, as I stated, the eyeball shawl by Stephen West, and I have this situated on my Cocoa Knits knitting board. If you haven't seen this, it's a wonderful tool whereby you can take your patterns and you can adhere them to the board using the magnets that come with the with this kit. And you can also use it as a needle minder, put your needles on the magnets. So it's just a really, really helpful tool. And you can prop this up almost like an iPad. There's also a ruler that it's an extra piece that you can purchase. I just realized my pattern's upside down on this side. I'm going to be getting to that too. As a matter of fact, this yarn you see right here is all caked up for this pattern here, which is the painting bricks. The painting bricks shawl. So that will be on my needles at some point, hopefully by the start of spring. Okay, so the eyeball shawl is a super fun pattern. I'm telling you, these magnets are like super, super strong. So give me a second to release the pattern. Okay. Release the pattern from the magnets. Okay, so here is the eyeball shawl. So basically it's an eye. All the parts of the eye. And what I didn't realize is this portion down here, which is brioche, is the eyelashes of the eye. So a really bizarre pattern. If you have knit Stephen West patterns before, then you know he can get out there, but super, super fun. It's very simple to do. Here's a better picture. Here's a better picture of the shawl. So it starts in the center, and then the second color is done, all knitting in the round and increases. And then these portions here are done separately using short rows. So that's about as much as I'll tell you about the construction, but super fun, very relaxing, just a lot of straight knitting because you're knitting in a round, so it's all stockinette stitch. This portion here is garter stitch, which is really, really nice. Really enjoying this, really enjoying it. So let me show you my colors. Get this paper clip together because I don't want to lose. I'm really starting to enjoy printing off my patterns. I don't know. I think it's because I'm at a computer almost so many hours of the day. So at the end of the day, when I have a few moments to knit, I don't want to be looking at a screen like an iPad for my patterns. So I really enjoy printing out my patterns. And if you saw this cute little paper clip here, I do carry these in the shop in several different shapes. We've got some bows, and we also have coffee cups, teardrops, so a lot of options there for keeping your pattern pieces together. So let me share with you my eyeball and the colors I'm using. So I started out the center of the eye with this beautiful color here. This is Madelinetosh Sock, and the color is Mare, M-A-R-E. I've had this in my stash for so long. So this entire project is deep stash, which I'm super excited about. So that's Mare. As you can see, it's kind of washing out if I put it too close, but blues, browns, charcoals, a really deep, complex color. The second color, this beautiful pink here, this is Hotsy Totsy, and this is Plucky Feet. So 100% no, I think it's a 75-25 merino nylon blend. So that's the feet in Hotsy Totsy. I've got the ball band right here. Yes, 90-10 merino nylon blend. And the color is not Hotsy Totsy, it's Going Steady. I always get those two mixed up. And then finally, for the lighter portion, I'm using this, which is Tosh Merino Light, and the color is Found Pottery. So it's got some blues and charcoals and natural pinks, of course, lots of shades of pinks and purples. So it works really well with the Going Steady pink. And the brioche will be done in these two colors. So wish me well on this project. If you've been watching for a while, you know I have a love-hate relationship with brioche. I love to do it, but I'm still very much intimidated by it. So yeah, so here's my progress. So there's the center of the eye, there's that outside area here. You can see the decreases, very simple, make one decreases, and I'm starting on one side of the shawl. So as you can see, I was really surprised. I just assumed I would just keep going around and around and around, but that's not how it's constructed, because that would be too much like right? So there you can see the increases. So yeah, I won't give out too much more of this pattern, but I will say that if you have ever wanted to make it, then go for it, because it is super fun. I'm sitting here knitting it now because first of all, I enjoy this yarn so much. It's been so long since I've knit with Tosh Merino Light. It's super soft, it's just so lofty, and this is a highly speckled color, so it's just super yummy to work with. All right, so are you guys knitting? Are you knitting as I'm talking? I hope so. I hope you are. So let's take a look and see what else is on my agenda. I think that's it as far as what I've been working on. I do have a couple of other things I want to start up. I got to choose my vest for the make along for February. And I also want to make Andrea Mowry's new pattern, which is called Metamorphic. Love that pattern so much. I should have printed that so you can see it. So I'm going to show that to you on the next episode. All right, so let's talk about some acquisitions real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, so the first thing that has come in the mail since I last recorded are these beautiful skeins from Queen's Yarn Boutique. I think I mentioned Rochelle shop on the last podcast because I was talking about that pretty bag that I had my project in. Actually, this bag right here. So, I need to ask Rochelle, is she gonna add more bags to the shop? So here we go. Look at that. I'm gonna move it back. The further back I go, the better the color shows. It looks a little washed out. If I put it got a ring light right there, you can see it reflecting off of my glasses. So it's it's quite a bit deeper than this. It's absolutely beautiful. So this is her Pop Life fingering base, and it's 100% superwash merino wool, which I absolutely love. A 100% merino wool. It's 490 yards, and so it's so much yarn here, so much squishy goodness. And I will be doing a sweater of some sort, maybe a boxy, the fingering weight boxy, although I have another sweater quantity of her yarn in this same base. The color Vibranium, which is a really pretty purple and blue variegated skein. So I don't know, I haven't picked out a pattern for this, but Rochelle was having a sale. You guys know how I feel about a sale. I cannot resist a sale. So these had to come home with me, and I think the sale is still going on. At least it was on Thursday when I checked. So yeah, definitely check out Queen's Yarn Boutique. I will link to her shop in the show notes. Beautiful work, Rochelle. So excited about that. Since the last time we talked, I discovered a new yarn shop in the state of Maryland, actually in Annapolis, Maryland, which we are in Annapolis all the time. I have a couple of doctors out there, and I just love shopping there. They've got a really nice restaurant. So anyway, so my knit friends told me about a shop in Annapolis I cannot believe I'd never been to, and it was glorious. And the name of the shop, Knits and Pieces in Annapolis. Very friendly, very well stocked, just a variety of things, everything you'd want in a yarn shop. So I had 30 minutes to shop. I think they closed at either 4 or 5. I had 30 minutes to shop. So this is what I came out with. This beautiful skein is from Louisa Harding Yarns, and I believe you pronounce this Scintille Sparkling. They describe it as a brushed look wool and metallic blend. It's 49% acrylic, 39% polyester metallic, and 12% wool. They had a hat that was knit up in this, just a very simple hat with a long a 1x1 or 2x2 rib, and the rest of it was just stockinette. It was just so pretty. So I had to pick this up. I don't know if I'll get to it this year. For this season, probably will not, but I'm not going to put this away. I'm going to keep this close by so that I can look at it often and remember I want to make this for next winter. Next up, I picked up this beautiful skein from Noro Yarns. This is their Ito base. And as you know, if you know about Noro, they're known for their beautiful striping patterns. I mean, look at that. Every color in the rainbow. You got some neon greens, some neon pinks, purples, beige, brown, navy. It's a beautiful skein of yarn. So, you know, they always say samples sell. So there was a sample cowl knit up in this, and the cowl was the Moko cowl by Olga Jazzy. I never know how to pronounce Olga's last name, so I'll just use her Instagram name, Olga Jazzy, who is an amazingly talented designer. I'm going to insert a picture of that cowl right here. Isn't it gorgeous? So beautiful. So This is also not going to get put away because I want to get that on the needles fairly soon too. I know I'm wondering too how in the world I'm going to knit all this stuff, but I'm going to give it a valiant effort. Okay, another thing that has come in the mail is the Royalty collection by Queenie Crochet. And here is the inspiration for this collection. On the back of this card, it says, "Welcome, Royal Stitcher. It has been a labor of love bringing these colorways to life. An idea that began shortly after I started dyeing a few years ago. I cannot wait to see what they become. Enjoy opening each surprise package. Your royal adventure awaits." So basically, the Royal collection was a collection of mini skeins. And again, the colors in this picture are the inspiration for these skeins. And here they are. Trying to separate them out in a way where you'll be able to see all the colors. I don't think that's possible, so I'll just show them all individually. So pretty. This color is called Royalty. This color is called Regency. This one here is Crown. Resemble the gold of the crown. This one here is Monarch. This might be my favorite. This one is Royal Highness. Excuse me. Royal Highness. This one here is called Coronation Robes. And this one here is Majesty. Really royal purple. So, here they are all together. So I need to come up with a pattern for these. Maybe just a simple cowl. Maybe if I combine it with another fingering weight skein. It's a beautiful base, nice and bouncy, just how I like my fingering yarns to be. Great job, great job. So along with the yarn, I also received this yarn cake keeper. It's black and metallic gold, very royal, and a stitch marker. Actually, it's a progress keeper, and it's a crown. So really, really nice. The more I look at the colors, the more they're growing on me. So I definitely want to come up with a pattern so that I can get those on the needles also at some point. If you have any ideas or suggestions, let me know. Finally, oh yes, finally, another sale that I found. Did I share this with you already? I don't think so. I think I shared this the last time. Chelsea Yarns, one of my favorite yarn dyers. Christine is her name. Chelsea Yarns is her brand. Was also having a sale, and I picked up these three of her. Oh, the name of the base is just flew out of my head. It's the Slubby yarn. I'll put it right down here. So these three. Do you see that yellow in there? So beautiful. Remember, this is the yarn I knit the my Millie out of. It's Cobblestone. Cobblestone is the name of the yarn. So pretty. Look at those deep blues. So this would also make a beautiful sweater. I think that's it. I think that's it for the acquisitions. It's enough, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so I think that's it. I think that's all I have to share with you as far as yarn. So it's been a while since I've shown you some things that were in the shop. So real quickly, I'm going to go through a couple of things. I put a collection, just got a whole bunch of sticker sheets in my hand here, because I'm going to need them later. I'm going to be going live on Instagram today, today is Saturday, February the 12th. At 5:30 p.m. Eastern time today with a good friend of mine who also owns a stationery shop. The name of her shop is Monet Wear on Etsy. Again, I will link to her shop, but the both of us are going together just for a little chit chat. I'm celebrating my 1-year anniversary of being in business, and Ramona is celebrating her 12th year of being in business. So we're just going to chat about, business stuff and just show a few things. So hopefully you'll get a chance to join in if you happen to see this before 5 p.m. But she's going to add it to her stories. Actually, it's 5:30 p.m. Eastern time today, but she's going to save it to her stories. So if you don't make it, you'll be able to go back and see it. Listen to our chat. So real quick, this is a new sticker sheet that just went in the shop this week. It's called Never Enough Yarn. This is a sticker sheet I have carried since day one, Crafty Quotes, and it coordinates really, really well with Never Enough Yarn. So this has been super popular from day one. Next up, a collection of black butterflies. We call it the Black Butterfly Collection. So there are deco boxes in these colors, as well as washi tape. Also have a tribal collection, so you will get these beautiful abstract, I call them tribal queens, and several other African motifs and leaves to match. Really amping up the dolls, the sticker dolls for the shop. So this one is Winter Coffee. So of course this will only be around for a limited time. So if you haven't already gotten this and you want to take the winter out in a bind in your planner or journal, this has also been super popular. And I have this in a light complexion and dark complexion. The colorful turbans has also been super popular. I just love these ladies, so pretty. We've got some abstract sticker dolls. These also come in a light and dark complexion. This is the light complexion. We have Ankara girls. You guys know how much I love Ankara prints, so when I found these images, I definitely wanted to use them. You can see she's wearing her Ankara skirt. So this is the light Ankara girls, light complexion, and this is the dark complexion. I call this Autumn Girl, but I'm going to keep it in the shop. I might rename it because it's so pretty. So we may just keep this one going all year. We'll see. And this is we also have this in a purple in a dark complexion. Besides all of the cute, fun stickers, there's also several functional stickers for your months and days of the year. I've got those in 2 fonts. Headers. This one here is for just basic headers: cooking, to do, meeting, priority, cleaning, self-care, to buy, and goals, all on one sheet. So this one sheet will last you quite a while. Going back to something fun, coffee love has been super, super popular. There's also one for tea lovers. And something else that has gained a lot of popularity is the vintage collection. So these here, if you love that vintage vibe, if you love like collage and layering, but you're not quite sure how to do it, these are all one element. Everything has been layered for you, so you could literally just put a piece of vintage paper down, put one of these down, a little bit of washi, and you're done. You've got a beautiful journaling spread. So that was the inspiration behind that. Then we created some stamps. If you love, again, to do vintage journaling or some vintage vibe in your planner, each of these stamps I designed by hand. So all of the individual elements were placed. Had a really good time making these. And then I would say the most popular thing in the shop are the wordings. I have several sticker sheets with just words. Most of them, all of them, words of encouragement on one subject or another. So this is in the vintage collection. If you look really close, you'll see it has like a vintage background on it. And all of these encouraging sayings for you. And this one is called Body Positivity. Always need that. The size of my waist has nothing to do with my worth. How true. And these words, just the basic journaling words. There we go. Several of the sticker sheets can be printed on clear sticker paper as well. And finally, this also was released today. I'm sorry, this month. And this is called The Encourager. So several encouraging quotes to help get you through the day, the week, or the month. So I know that's a lot. And if you stuck around to watch all of that, thank you so much. Sometimes I wonder if I have too many things in the shop, but I just want a huge variety so that I'll be able to serve more people. In addition to stickers, we've got pins, we have washi tape. So again, hope you get a chance to take a peek. Everything in the shop is 15% off from now until next Wednesday. Again, today is February the 12th. And we've also got some other fun anniversary surprises coming up for the month of February. So sign up for the newsletter, follow the _ fiber tree on Instagram, and then you'll be able to see all the fun things, and you won't miss out on something. So again, I think that's all I have to share with you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are staying well. I'm just moving along as best as I can. Had a couple of bad days this week as far as pain is concerned, but today is a little better. So I'm really, really grateful for that. Again, don't forget, I'll be live on Instagram today at 5:30 with Monet Wear. So I hope you get a chance to check that out. And I will see you again in the next episode. Bye.